All right, let's get going. It is Monday. It is time for the Monday message, and I'm fired up to be chatting with everybody today. We had a massive week last week. People having breakthroughs all over. So many exciting things happening on the team right now. We've got a very, very special guest today. Mr. Paul Roberts is going to be on the call today. So we are going to abbreviate the normal first part of our call with the leaderboards. We are going to go over the basic leaderboards, but we're not going to do month to date or any of those things because I want you to hear every bit of what Paul Roberts has to say. All right, let's just go with all producers over 1,000 for the week last week. Remember, these are submit numbers. We posted the issue paid on band month to date. We definitely see some exciting things going on there, but this is submit from last week. And again, send us reports. Send reports either through Soto or through Jeremico or through your key leader so that we know exactly what you're out there submitting every week. We don't get good data from the carriers on e-apps on submit. They always come through on issue paid, but on submit, they just don't come. We don't get a good feed on that. So the more you let us know, the more we want to recognize you. All right, all producers over 1,000. We're going to start with LaSure Rollison, $1,122.24. We got Tucker Parrish, $1,324.20. Mimi Ramiro, $1,679.28. Evan Patzer, $1,691.76. Danny Alford, $1,782.96. Mark Hutchison, $2,905.80. Diana Castile, $5,791.56. Jeremico Edwards, $5,898.24. Gustavo Mercedes Terran, $6,699.12. Brandon and Ashley Beal, $7,200. Sheena Flowers, $7,618.20. Third place would be me with $10,000. I wrote $10,536 or $10,500.36 across 7 apps. Number 2 last week in front of me would be Austin Heater, $12,363.34 on 11 apps. Way to go, Austin. Proud of you, dude. And leading the way, number 1 by a whole lot with 18 applications, $20,411.64. Mr. Billy Crane. Way to go, Billy. All right, top 3 agency managers from top 5 agency managers and above from last week. Number 5, Evan Patzer. Number 4, Brandon Beal. Number 3, Eduardo Soto with $12,363.34. That's outside his 2 agency manager legs. Number 2 would be my base shop with $27,546.12. And number 1 would be Jeremico Edwards agency manager team, $38,130.46. All right, let's go to recruiting. Completed fast tracks last week, all with 1 direct completed fast track. You've got LaSure Rollison, Robert Moore, Eduardo Soto, Austin Heater, Roxana Lau, my base shop here, and Brittany Carmichael. Enrollees in licensing last week. Hutch had 2 direct enrollees in licensing last week. Brandon and Ashley Beal had 3 direct enrollees in licensing last week. Rogers and Kim Strotter had 4, and my base shop had 5 direct enrollees in licensing last week. Completed new agent contracts last week. You got Austin Heater and Mark Hutchison tied at 1 direct. My base shop had 2 direct, and Brandon and Ashley Beal led the way last week with 6 direct. All right, that's the abbreviated leaderboards and information for this week. We got the Dial Jam starting back up at 2:30. Evan Patzer is going to be lighting it up. Come join us. Turn your camera on. Let us see your pretty face. Let us see you working, and you'll be able to learn a lot from Evan. I know Billy was killing it this morning and doing a lot of good teaching as well. So that is all the information I want to go over today because I want to listen to my friend, Mr. Paul Roberts. Let me tell you guys, there are a handful of people that I respect, that I'm as tight with as Paul Roberts, man. I'm telling you, to get to see this guy and get to see what he's done as a leader in the Alliance has just been amazing to watch. Amazing. I'm glad to count him as a friend. I really appreciate him taking the time because his team's on fire. I mean, his team is absolutely on fire. So all the agency managers, we get together at 4:00 on Mondays because we've been challenged by Integrity to grow the Alliance at least 25% this year. And watching Paul's team go from being in the negative to way in the positive, it's been a massive, massive, amazing growth. Paul just hit board member, and he's got Integrity. He's got a partners with Integrity coming right around the corner. So absolutely an awesome time to have Paul on the call. Absolutely absolutely on fire. Holly and I love him and Tamara a lot. And Paul, I'm going to turn it over to you, brother. I'm going to mute out and I'm going to take some notes.
All right. Thank you so much, Stephen, for having me on today. It's a huge honor. I remember the first time you asked me to do something for you. When it came to me reaching like a certain level, you had me come to no, it was in Asheville, I believe. I forget where it was, but you were doing a function, and this was years ago. I think I got like 10 minutes to speak. But I remember how honored I was. I'll never forget that moment. Just flying there, nervous as all get out, thinking, oh my God, I'm speaking to the Stephen Davies organization. I mean, this is like 2009, 2010. This is a long time ago. And I'll never forget that. It really, it did something for me, and I appreciate that. Always appreciate when you allow me to speak to this wonderful group. You have a phenomenal group of people. Just hearing those names and Billy Crane's numbers, oh my God, like 24,000 in 1 week. That's huge. How exciting it is to have someone not just that writes that type of business on your team, but his enthusiasm is contagious. You can't help but smile when you get around someone like a Billy, and so many people on your team the exact same way. Austin, Ed. I should not have started naming names. Now it's all coming to me. Who am I forgetting? But so many great people on this team that I absolutely love. I love the spirit of the Davies Nation. I love the way y'all come together and fight so hard for one another. I love the fact that there's not too many groups like y'all. I hope you know that. I really, really hope you know that. Oh God, Hutch, forgot about Hutch. There's just not too many groups like y'all in terms of heart and spirit and enthusiasm and excitement. And there's a lot of you on the leaderboards. If you're not on that extreme manager call that we do every Monday, know that your names are being mentioned. Know that we're talking about you in a great, great, great way. And we're excited that you're all part of this deal. But hey, I want to talk about something that I actually talked about at family reunion in Tampa, Florida. And I'm so excited because this was one of those times that I prepared for something. And I kind of wish I could have talked to the entire Alliance crew. It was great that we had the agency managers there, but I want to share this with you. And believe it or not, I'm going to be giving this whole talk around one quote. It's one quote, but the quote is so powerful. The sentences are so powerful. And it describes Stephen Davies in this. It describes Ed Soto. It describes Brandon Bill. It describes so many people on this call listening to me right now. But there's more of you that are aspiring to be like them. There's more of y'all wanting to be like the gentlemen, the people that I just mentioned. And so I'm going to read the quote. I'm going to have a very difficult time reading the whole quote because I start talking about the quote. Just bear with me. Every big dream has a small beginning, no exceptions. See, I'm stopping already. Every big dream has a small beginning, no exceptions. And the reason I love this part of the quote is because of this. I remember when people would say things to me like, what's your purpose? What's your why? Why? You know, you got to have this. And I was just like, I just want to pay the bills, man. I can't make my car payment on a Nissan Sentra, bro. I don't know what my 5-year, I don't know what my why. I don't know why God put me here. It was desperation, right? And many people come to us that way, and it's okay. It's okay when you hear some of the leaders so eloquently say their vision, and you're thinking to yourself, oh my God, I don't have a vision like that. I don't have a dream. That's okay. Don't freak out. I love when Andy Albright talks about building the alliance, and he talks about he had this other partner, and he said, if we can just make $250,000 a year for 2 years in a row, that's all they wanted. That's how this whole thing was built. Is if we could just make $250,000 a year for 2 years in a row, I mean, they were going to quit. They were done. We've hit the jackpot, right? So I mean, please understand, every big dream has a small beginning, no exceptions. Every tree was a seed once upon a time. The people who do big things for God are the ones who have the perspective to see the potential in the small beginnings. You have to see the potential. You have to see Even though I just wanted to make 75 a year, even though Andy wanted to make 250 a year, but you have to see the potential. Okay. This is what I love right here. This one I could talk about for literally an hour, probably longer. They refuse to stop nurturing the seed until the dream is full grown. They have the tenacity to stay after it, even if it isn't lucrative, exciting, or remarkable in its current form. That, my friends, is leadership. That, my friends, are the people that you want to be. That is who you're striving to become. Listen to that. They have the tenacity to stay after it, even if it isn't lucrative. Hutch, Brandon, you guys listen to me. Patzer, how many times have you said, has this been said to you by people? I'm working hard. I'm just not making no money. You see what I'm saying? See, leadership, people that know the importance of small beginnings, they have the tenacity to stay after it, even when it's not lucrative, exciting, or remarkable in its current form. Dear Lord, I could repeat that. I want to repeat that to everybody I'm with. I want to tell everybody about that one little bitty sentence right there. Because sometimes it's not going to feel lucrative. Sometimes it's not going to feel great. Sometimes it's not going to feel awesome. And that's what separates leaders right there. I've watched Stephen build this thing, and it wasn't fun. It hurt like hell. It wasn't lucrative. It wasn't remarkable by any stretch of the imagination. But he put in the same effort. That's what defines people that have abundance versus people that live in this world of just paying their bills. They have the tenacity to stay after it when it hurts, when it don't feel good. This is just isn't what I thought I wanted to do. I just kind of wanted to. No, they have the tenacity to stay after it, even when it don't feel right. It don't feel good. There's a stupid Facebook quote that I just can't stand. And it's not really a quote. I don't know what the heck it is, but it just drives me nuts every time I see it. Do what makes you feel good, or something like that. Is that what it is? Like that? Do what makes you feel good. Have you seen that one? I got people in my office. Do what makes you happy. Something like that. Something stupid like do what makes you feel good. I mean, that's just the dumbest. All right. Sorry, Tamara, that I cheated on you. I was just doing what made me feel good, baby doll. Just doing what made me feel good. That was it. See, it's just garbage. Well, what I'm doing doesn't feel good. Yeah, guess what? Every leader, everybody that's built anything, everybody's done anything, it didn't feel good. Nothing felt good about it, but they saw the big dream in the small beginning. They saw the big dream in the small beginning. Yeah, it was painful. Yeah, making dials hurts. Yeah, making dials and people rude to you and people don't show up. And we got it. It ain't fun. Hey, check this out. What I love about this business, and it's undeniable, you can't argue this, is everything you're doing. If you're brand new on Steven's team, if you've been in Steven's team for a year, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, whatever, it's undeniable. He has done everything you're about to do. If you're on Patzer's team, Patzer has done everything you're about to do. If you're on Soda, he's done. I'm telling you, everybody. This is one of the few businesses in the world that I know of that are like that. Let me explain. How many of you work for a company and they put someone above you that had never done what you did, and they became your boss and they told you what to do? Right? Here, it ain't that way. So we understand that making dials can be very boring unless you make it exciting, unless you build a habit. If you build a habit and you do things like Jeremy Patton does, he just says, I love making dials. I mean, that's all he said. He keeps repeating it to himself. And I think he finally tricks himself into believing he loves it. But you got to understand, none of that feels great. None of it feels awesome. None of it feels amazing. Oh my God, this is just isn't what I thought I was going to do. Yeah, no kidding, really. That's why I like the fact that we call ourselves the Roberts Rock Stars, because rock stars, they have the most boringest job in the world. And y'all think it's sexy, and y'all think it's fun, and y'all think it's exciting. It ain't. Think of, I can name some bands. They lived in vans. They lived in public storage units. They slept on the streets. They played in small little bars, and they played the same songs over and over and over. People threw stuff at them. People said, y'all suck. People did all this other stuff. And then finally they made it. And guess what? When they made it, they still had to sing those songs that they had already been singing for 4 or 5 years. And you and I go to that concert, and we think it's the best thing we've ever heard. Oh my God, the passion coming out of the lead singer's voice is so amazing. He just loves what he does. He's bored to death. You know how many years he's been singing that stupid song? That's what he's saying. I've been singing this. And by the way, he can't change the words. Because if he changes the words, we all get messed up. Whoa, hey, right? He's got to sing the same stupid thing over and over and over again. And we just sit there and go, oh, I wish I could be a rock star. Yeah, really? You want to get up there and do that mundane junk all the time? Now, do they get to enjoy life? Absolutely. Do we get to enjoy life? Absolutely. Stephen mentioned that we're going for partnership. Last week, I was so blessed I got invited to go to the Monday Night Football game with integrity and meet Steve Young. That was cool. I like that. But understand all the boring crap I did to get to that invitation. Understand all the people that said no to me. Understand all the people that you got to have a vision when you're in that beginning stages. I'm going to read that again. They have the tenacity to stay after it, even if it isn't lucrative, exciting, or remarkable in its current form. That, my friends, is what separates everybody. I'm not even done with the quote, by the way. I'm still got like 3 more sentences to go. But that one hits me. And I'm saying that one hits me as my favorite one. Here in about 5 minutes, I'm about to tell you another one's my favorite one, okay? They have the tenacity to stay after it, even if it isn't lucrative, exciting, or remarkable in its current form. Through the power of audacious faith, they get a vision from God, saturate it in the Son, and embrace the process. Oh, dear Lord, please embrace the process. This weekend, I was horrible. Nothing worked my way. Nothing, no, embrace the process, because now you have the ability to lead people through the fire, because you went out and mucked it up one weekend, screwed it up one weekend, ran 20 appointments. Nobody showed. You couldn't close a door. See, now when you bring somebody into the business, you can look them in the eyes and say, I've been through everything you're going through and about to go through. And then you have the ability at that point to bring them through the fire. But if you never have bad weekends, not weekend, and believe me, I think Hutch is the #1 producer in all of NAA right now, right? Yeah, I think he is. Believe me, Hutch has had some bad weekends. Now, y'all don't see that. You don't see the struggle that I went through. All you heard was I went to dinner with Steve Young and thinking about partner. You don't know the nights that I went to sleep crying, waking up in the middle of the night, freaking out that I couldn't pay the bill, sweating. Okay, you didn't see that. What you don't see on Hutch is the fact that, yeah, he's #1 producer, but you don't see his bad weekends. And if you do see them, you kind of brush them off. That's good for him. He can handle it because he handles the same way you do. But what it does, it gives him the ability to be a leader and walk people through the fire, because he's been there. See, if Billy Crane don't got a bad weekend, right, and bad weekends, when one of his agents has a bad weekend, what's Billy going to do? Freak out? Wow, I've never had one of those. You must suck. You must be pathetic, because I never had a bad weekend. You see what I'm saying? Embrace the process. Learn from it. Leadership learns from it. Personal producers, people that don't care to have influence in people's lives, people that don't care to inspire other people, they're like, oh, you don't know how bad this is, Stephen. You have no idea how bad. You have no idea how bad this is. It was bad. I got this, I got that, I got this, right? Leadership goes, well, they told me I was going to have a weekend like this. They told me it was going to be tough from time to time. Now I got to write this down. I got to remember this, because now I have the ability to walk people through the fire and help them become great. Through the power of audacious faith, they get a vision from God, saturated in the Son, and embrace the process until the payoff is in plain view. Until the payoff is in plain view. Until the payoff is in plain view. Nowhere along the way does this quote say you should quit if it hurts. If things don't look promising, you should stop. If it doesn't feel good, it's not the quote I'm thinking of. It's a quote similar to that about not feeling good. If it doesn't make you happy, don't do it. Yeah, that's what it is. Something like that. Is that the quote that I see on Facebook all the time? Okay, yeah. If it doesn't make you happy, don't do it. I want to slap those people with Billy Crane's hand because I'm like, what? You're going to do things you don't like to do, but oh my gosh, is the reward worth it? It's like there's no better feeling than walking through that battle and making it. And that's just all I want to try to encourage everybody on this call today. I'm hoping that just with this simple quote, every big dream has a small beginning, no exceptions. No exceptions. By the way, if you get people that join your team and they got these big, crazy goals, and be careful. Don't get too fired up. It's a little weird sometimes. Yeah. I want to build churches in Africa, and not just one, but I want to build 1 million. I'm just okay, great. You got a big vision. I love it. But please understand, it starts with a small beginning. I was impressed years and years ago by the NFL. They had gone on strike. This is a long time ago. And the great players, and the great coaches were worried that they wouldn't get the practice and the reps they needed before the season began. And because they were on strike, they couldn't use the facilities like, they couldn't use Pittsburgh Steelers Stadium or Detroit Stadium or anything. That they had to get the players had to front the money to get a facility to go practice. Many teams did not, but the great teams did. Drew Brees was one of those, and he fronted the money, rented the place out so his team could practice because his team was a championship caliber team. I don't care if you're a Saints fan or not. It has nothing to do with that. They calculated they would lose 1,500 snaps from center. Hut, hike 1,500 times before the season began. They didn't want to lose that many snaps from center. 1,500 times. Hut, hike 1,500 times. So the great ones realized we better get together and practice. So we're going to put up our own money. We're going to practice. Now I want you to think about something. When you think you're too good for something, when you think you're too great for something, I want you to think about this for a second. These are young men, some maybe a little older, that have been playing football since how old would you say? 5, 6, 7 years old. 7 years old. That's from Bubba. Bubba says 7 years old. They've played peewee football. Then you go into high school football or junior high. Then you go into high school, and then you go into college. Oh yeah, by the way, two-a-days, right? When do you start two-a-days? In junior high? Or is that high school? High school? Then you got two-a-days that start in high school. I'm guessing two-a-days keep going in college. Oh, they go year-round because they practice. Yeah. So, I mean, think about this. Since peewee football, since 7 years old, they've been saying hut, hike. But they were still worried about it. See, everything, winning a championship, winning a Super Bowl has a small beginning. It starts with a small beginning. Hut, hike. We got to do our practicing. We got our reps in. You got to get your reps in. You got to get your repetition in. You got to get your dials in. You got to get your in-home presentation reps in, right? You got to get all these reps in. You got to learn how to speak to people on the phone when you're interviewing them. You got to get those reps in, right? You got to learn. But so-and-so just seems to recruit. Ed Soto seems to recruit more than me. He's got more reps than you. He ain't better than you. He's got more reps than you. That's it. So-and-so's beating me in this. They just got more reps than you. Get more reps and you'll catch up. If you want to do the whole, it's not fair, the whole, I don't enjoy this process. Okay. The whole, it don't feel good. It don't feel right. Ooh, you ready? It ain't lucrative. It ain't lucrative. So I'm going to read it again. I'm going to end on it. Every big dream has a small beginning, no exceptions. Every tree was a seed once upon a time. The people who do big things for God are the ones who have the perspective to see the potential in the small things, small beginnings. They refuse to stop nurturing the seed until the dream is full grown. They have the tenacity Dear Lord, please hear me. They have the tenacity to stay after it. Stephen Davies has the tenacity to stay after it. Even if it isn't lucrative, exciting, or remarkable in its current form. God, I got to stop again. See, guys, when y'all see leaders get up on stage and cry, that's why. They cry from that sentence right there. They stayed after it when people quit. They stayed after it when people told them to quit. They stayed after it when people told them they were stupid and they couldn't handle it. They stayed after it no matter what. They stayed after it. They had the tenacity to stay after it. And I always believed in them. Bull, you know what? No, you didn't. Even if it isn't lucrative, exciting, and remarkable in its current form. Through the power of audacious faith, they get a vision from God, saturate it in the sun, and embrace the process until the payoff is in plain view. This is by Stephen Furtick, by the way. There's some heroes on this team. There's some great people on this team, and as I'm thinking of all the names I'm forgetting that I have not said yet, and I apologize. I love the heart of this team. Please understand, you are different than most of the teams inside the Alliance. I promise you are. I tell Stephen all the time. Y'all got the heart. Around here in the Rock Stars, we like to say that we are what are we, Jenny?
We are powerful and loving.
She screamed powerful and loving. I think you heard that. She's got a very voice. What am I trying to say? She said it loud. But we're powerful and loving. I believe y'all are very powerful and loving too. We're going to take care of each other. We're going to push each other because through love, we believe that we have to perform at a higher level. Because I love this team, I gotta perform at a level I don't think's inside of me impossible of me. But I know that if I just keep fighting, the capacity is inside of me. I know the capacity is inside each and every one of you to be great leaders, to be great personal producers, to be all of this stuff. The capacity already exists in you. When are you going to think that it is in you? Because once you do, you can take this to a whole new level. I love you guys. Stephen, thank you so much for having me on this call. I hope I did you justice. I hope I helped in some way. Again, just an absolute honor. I'm about to go do my sales meeting. I'm going to tell everybody what an honor it was to speak to this group of champions here.
Dude, that was awesome. Thank you so much, Paul. And don't take for granted, guys, someone like Paul Roberts that is producing at the levels he's producing, the way his organization is growing, the time he gives is so valuable. And I'm getting texts like crazy, Paul, people just saying, thank you for having Paul on the call. This is exactly what I needed to hear. What if I didn't tune in today? I'm getting texts like that the entire time you're talking, brother. So thank you so much, man. Anything I can ever do for you guys, I'm always game. I appreciate you more than you know. Please give Holly and I's love to Tamara as well. And give our love to the whole sales team while you're there. All right. Appreciate you, man. All right. So what are the takeaways? I'm sitting here taking notes and I'm going, this might be the most powerful, compact call we've had on a Monday message since I can remember when. I love the things that Paul's messaging there. Anything worth doing is going to be difficult. Anything worth doing. I mean, whether it's building a business, whether it's building a marriage, building a family, staying friends with your kids when you're no longer in charge. I mean, all that stuff is hard. Anything worth doing is hard. And I love the message about the reps. Stay in there, get the reps. I know it can be discouraging to hear Billy, to hear Evan, or some of the other leaders book appointments. You're like, what? Right? What's wrong with me? It's the reps. It's the reps. I love that message about the reps. Anything worth doing is going to be tough. I love the illustration about the rock star. I saw Jeremico message that on the chat. Yeah, absolutely. We look at that and go, that person absolutely loves what they do. They're putting on the show. It's a show. They're putting on the show. So the same thing with dialing. I'm with Jeremy Patton. I've said that for years. I love making dials. I don't know if I do or don't. I don't think I actually do. I don't think at my base I do, but I love making dials. Jumping back in the field again. I love it, man. I love it. If you convince yourself you love it, you'll put in the reps. I love it. Small beginnings. I'm telling you what, when you're brand new, it's the small beginnings. And that's one of the things I'll message. When you make your first sale, I want you to text me and I'll message you something pretty close to, if you can do one, you can do a million. because that's the case. If you can do one, you've got proof of concept. If you do one, you can do as much as you want to. Embrace the process. Embrace the process. Tenacity when it's not fun. I'm with Paul. I hate stupid messages like that. Only do it if it's fun or whatever. I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? Embrace the process. Tenacity when it's not fun. Can you show tenacity when it's not fun? That's leadership. There's so many good notes here. And that stuff people say, I always believed in them. I'm telling you, when people are telling you you're never going to make it, when people are telling you it's not going to work out, I'm telling you, those same people will come back later. Once you've embraced the process and put in the reps and get the results, they come back and go, I always believed in you. He's exactly correct. I love it. I love it. And that last thought, and that's where we'll leave it. We'll have a shorter message today. Let's get back at it. But that last thought is so huge. Through love, we have to perform at a higher level. I mean, I wrote that down and I'm thinking about my marriage with Holly. I'm thinking about my kids. I'm thinking about my business. I'm thinking about leading. I'm thinking about so many things that through love, we have to perform at a higher level. A powerful, powerful quote. Awesome stuff. What a great Monday message, guys. Let's circle back next week, next Monday. Let's all get together. Guys, I'm telling you, we are in the time of year where records always fall down. We are in the time of year where new leaders pop up out of nowhere. I still remember Billy Crane 2 or 3 years ago, come on in September and won the Paris trip. I'm telling you, people have breakthroughs. I'm thinking about the breakthroughs that the Terrans are having, with no bonus points, qualifying for the trip and now going after the extension after everything they've been through. Holy cow. I mean, there's so many things like that happening right now. Let's get those victories for you. Let's get those victories happening for you. What's it going to take? It's going to take tenacity when it's not fun. It's going to take embracing the process. It's going to take putting in the reps. But I promise you, one of the other things Paul said is dead on. You've got all the ability in you need to achieve at high levels. You got all the ability already there. We just got to get it out through the reps. So let's go out. Let's put in some crazy reps. Let's sneak in a few more recruiting calls. Let's sneak in a few more appointments. Let's sneak in a few more things. We got the Dial Jam starting up again at 2:30 with Evan Patzer. Guys, Holly and I love you. We want you to win more than you can imagine. Let's go out. Let's done. Now's the time. Hammer down.